Good evening, this is Kara with the Ministry of Uncover No More. I am writing a blog article on what has gone wrong with us.wordpress.com. Just today, as I'm setting up the Coffey family's school year, I went into Panera in Pflugerville because I have the $8.99 deal where I can get a cup of coffee every day of the month if I want for the $9, which is a really good deal. And Panera are all over the place. They have great coffee, great teas. You can get tea as well. And it's just a good moment. So I sit down, and it's very busy. And there's this gaggle of girls, teenagers. Keep in mind I have 7 daughters who have been through thick and thin. Keep in mind, I went to public school. Keep in mind this is Texas. Keep in mind what Texas is doing right now is viciously wrong. The entire state of Texas government should go to jail for letting this happen. Is how I feel. I may not have been one who needed an abortion, but I will defend every woman's body all my life. All I had to do was come out of religion and be careful where I told you, whoever you are, what my actual belief system is as it concerns compassion as a pagan. Because Christians are bullshitters, controllers. Okay, so I'm sitting there in this gaggle of teenage girls with matching t-shirts having to do with something that they're advertising actively, as in like a private school or something. you know you know Dark blue lettering. They're all sitting there. I hadn't put my headphones on yet because I generally do not want to know what teenage daughters are saying, women are saying, unless it's my daughters. Because I don't have time for stupid Americans anymore. None of my family, as far as my children, are stupid. And in fact, one of them just sat at my table, a daughter, and said, yeah, I did. She's highly gifted, highly called person with a firm plan in place. And she just had to say, there's just so much of the time in our past, I just had to be quiet because they were just being so stupid. Well, I'm the political person who has multiple blogs, multiple Twitter, and I had books that had good points. But then the evolution of the King of Kings' life in my life, the trajectory is rather fast. So they went out of date, except for when it came to defamation of my character. And so I don't want to talk about that anymore. But what I'm going to say is, when I was sitting there, I actively heard one of these teenage girls, and I quote approximately, I caught that it was a pastor's daughter, and that they were making fun. She was picking on her. She wasn't there. The young lady was not there because she was growling. If you check the records of ADD, ADHD, and whatnot, they have to be socially trained, because all that is frustration because the child was forced into a social situation. But they were actively picking on people not there, constantly, laughing. Girls, not just white skin. What are you doing, parents of America? Because I'm not going to say that my kids are pure as the driven snow in that, but I'll just say, hey, 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 and I'll walk off. Stop. This is a social media monster, the likes of which your free will can just tape your own mouth shut, teenager. And you can just do so much better for all of us across the United States of America. You know, it goes back to what, in a religious sense, I don't really like to repeat common phraseology from my past because Christians are just bullshitters. But, you know, it was a common Christian parent thing to, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. The problem is that's an easy way to shut up true victims. And so I'm just talking about when you're a teenage girl having a nice little meal at Panera with your friends. So I stood up. I got them all to look at me. Let me tell you, I know how to do that. I'm a mama. I can command attention for just a little minute. And I looked at one of them and I said, where are your adults? Oh, they're not here right now. They all looked at me. I sat down and I got out of there. Sure enough, right across at another table was a nice, large Negro man, just as much intently at work as me, probably about the same age, maybe a little younger or older, in the 50s. I made sure to catch his eye and I said, "Good morning," and so did he. But he saw the whole thing. Black men, young men, know what kind of shit little white girls can pull. This is going on a blog with somebody else who has decided to speak out about a white boy, YouTuber, assaulted women. This is Beaty-Coffey of the Ministry of Uncovering New More in and around Austin, Texas.